Hello friends, let us discuss the news for 13th March 2020. So after the World Health Organization declared coronavirus a pandemic, a 76-year-old man in India's state of Karnataka has died and it has become the first death from coronavirus in India. So till now, around 76 persons have been infected with coronavirus in India and one death has been registered in the state of Karnataka. So many states have taken unprecedented steps. Uttarakhand and Manipur have shut schools till the end of March. 14 new cases have been confirmed in one single day, and around 1500 people are under observation, and 1 lakh testing kits are available. This is what the government has said. Also, in an unprecedented move, the visas of all the Indians and all the foreign nationals have been banned till 15th of April 2020. So for 1 month, all the visas have been banned except the diplomatic passports. So all those other passports and visas have been banned. So it effectively means that India has isolated itself from any type of infection that is coming from abroad. 7 countries have been declared as such that any person coming from those 7 countries will be necessarily quarantined for 2 weeks, including China, Italy, and Iran, the 3 worst affected countries. In an important statement, the Union Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, has said that during the National Population Register exercise, no one will be marked doubtful. So let us first understand what is CAA, NPR, and NRC in brief. So Citizenship Amendment Act means that any person who belongs to either of the 6 communities, that is Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, and Christians, who have come from either of the 3 countries, that is Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan, before 31st of December 2014. So these people who have come to India before this particular date can apply for Indian citizenship, but Muslims cannot, since these 3 countries are Muslim majority countries and the people of these 6 communities face religious persecution in these 3 countries. National Population Register is the register of the residents of India. So a resident is any person who may not necessarily be the citizen, but a resident is one who has lived in a particular place for around 6 months and who intends to live in that place for another 6 months. So that person is a resident. Citizen, on the other hand, is a person who has obtained Indian citizenship by either of the 5 methods which are provided under the Citizenship Act of 1955. And those 5 methods are citizenship by, the first method is the citizenship by birth, second is by descent, third is by naturalization, fourth is by registration, and fifth is by acquisition of territory. So these are the 5 methods through which the citizenship of India can be acquired. So any person who is a citizen of India will be included in this particular register. That means NPR will be a broader register, and out of that, those who will be able to prove their citizenship will be a separate register of NRC. Now the doubt about combining these 3 is that when an NPR will be formed, it will not be a problem. But when an NRC will be formed, many people will be left out. For example, if 1 crore people are left out of the National Register of Citizens, then these 1 crore people will have to prove their citizenship. And out of these 1 crore people, only Muslims will not be able to get citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Act, whereas the people from all other communities will be able to apply for citizenship. So this is seen as discrimination. However, the Home Minister has clarified that no one will be marked doubtful during the exercise of NPR. That means NPR will simply be a question answer exercise and no document will be required to be submitted. NPR is simply the digitization of the census exercise that takes place after every 10 years, and NPR also took place in the year 2010 for the first time. Owing to the coronavirus fears, the Sensex, that is the sensitive index of the Bombay Stock Exchange has fallen by 8%, which is the sharpest fall in a day in the last 12 years. So in 2008, when the global economic crisis due to subprime lending hit the world markets, after that particular phenomenon, this is the first time that the Sensex has fallen by 8%. Also, the Nifty, or the national index of 50 companies maintained by the National Stock Exchange of India, has also plummeted significantly. It has plummeted by 8.3%. So that is a significant drop. Also, the Dow Jones, that is the index of the Wall Street market, has also fallen. So this shows that there is a trend that the world markets across the world are showing a downward trend, and this has led to the Indian investors losing around 11.43 lakh crore rupees. So the Indian investors have lost nearly 11.43 lakh crore rupees in one single day. That shows the severity of this particular problem. Next news is about the Gaganyaan. So Gaganyaan will be the first manned space mission of India, which is targeted to be launched somewhere around December 2021 or in the year 2022. And for that purpose, Russia is providing logistical as well as astronaut training to Indian probable astronauts. So 4 Indian Air Force pilots who were sent to Russia to complete their training for winter survival have completed their training at the Russia Center. So the 4 Indian trainee astronauts who are preparing for this particular mission, they have completed their training and they will now be coming back to India. So they have been training at the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center in Russia. And Yuri Gagarin was the first person in space. So he was the first human being in the entire world to go into space. So Russia is assisting India in the Gaganyaan mission, and Gaganyaan mission is going to be launched by the end of 2021 or in the beginning of 2022. The World Health Organization yesterday classified coronavirus as a pandemic. So let us see what are the implications. Pandemic is simply shows that the spread of the disease has been now across the continents and it has gripped the entire world. So the spread is the only criteria for declaring a disease as epidemic or a pandemic. An epidemic is a disease that is although widespread, but it is contained in a particular geographical area or in a particular country. So until now, WHO was only declared an epidemic because it was largely concentrated in China. However, now that the pandemic has spread to more than 80 countries and many people have been under its grip, so now the WHO has declared it a pandemic. Earlier also various outbreaks have been declared as pandemics. The Spanish flu outbreak in 1918 was declared as a pandemic, which killed around 20 to 50 million people. Then cholera pandemics have been declared multiple times between 1817 to 1975. The cholera pandemics have been declared as pandemics. And for the last time in the year 2009, swine flu or H1N1 was declared as a pandemic. So after that, 11 years after that, this is the first time that a disease has been declared as a pandemic. So the coronavirus disease 19 has been declared as a pandemic by WHO. Now, what are the implications of declaring a disease as pandemic? It leads to more government attention on that particular disease. It doesn't change anything else as far as World Health Organization is concerned, but it changes that approach of the countries to tackle this particular disease, and that is the purpose of declaring it a pandemic. It encourages the countries to take preventive measures to curb the spread of that particular disease. Let us see an MCQ based on the news that we have discussed. Which of the following agencies is not involved in the manufacturing of Gaganyaan? So the key word here is not. Let us see. Indian Space Research Organization. It is obviously involved because the launch vehicle will be prepared by this particular organization. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited is also involved. Nuclear Command Authority may or may not be. Defense Research and Development Organization is also involved. So the answer here is Nuclear Command Authority. Nuclear Command Authority is not concerned with Gaganyaan. It is the authority that is concerned with the nuclear weapons of the country. So, Nuclear Command Authority is an authority which is headed by the Prime Minister of India, and it controls all the nuclear weapons of India. It decides when and whether and where to deploy all those weapons. So, this authority is clearly not concerned with Gaganyaan mission. Thank you, everyone. This has been the news analysis for 13th of March 2020.